morning and welcome to Radio Friends on Friday, January the 20th. Jack Schultz is with us. Good to have you here,
Good to
Jack.
see you, Paul.
MU Bond Life Science Center, and today we're going to talk about genetic diseases and basic research that finds cures to genetic diseases. And a lot of times these cures can just come out of the blue, can't they, as a surprise?
Sure. Penicillin was discovered.
I was going to say,
a lot of good examples.
Penicillin was discovered how?
The researcher was working in a laboratory and allowed his sandwich to get moldy. The mold was growing on the bread.
This was not intentional.
Oh, no. And the name of that mold, bread mold, is Penicillium. That's the name of the species. And he noticed that if he got some of that on his agar plates where he was trying to grow bacteria,
they called petri
dishes, right? That it would kill the bacteria. And he said, "Whoa, this is something. Maybe what are we going to do with this?" It's actually what he said originally, but of course it turned into the world's first antibiotic, and it's been huge.
Yeah. So you're saying that the mold that grows on bread, basically is penicillin?
Well, it's a fungus that produces penicillin. Penicillin is the chemical it produces to compete with other things.
Okay, let me ask you this. Now, this is probably a silly question to you, but if someone ate a piece of moldy bread and they had an infection, would that mold go to work in their body the same as penicillin and help cure an infection?
I would love to say I know for a fact, but I don't. But I don't think so. Among other things, it's really tough to get through your stomach. And this has got to get into your blood, circulate to wherever the infection is, and do its job. And the penicillin that we take has been modified in such a way that it can tolerate all the acid and so forth in your stomach and get where it's going. I think if you digested mold, I'm not sure you'd get the same results.
Okay, so let's talk about the genetic diseases and basic research.
We can think of disease in a couple of different ways. One of them is contagious diseases, caused by viruses and bacteria. The other kind arises from genetic errors when people are born or before they're born. They used to be called congenital defects or congenital conditions. These days, because they arise from mistakes or problems with individual genes, we refer to them as genetic diseases. And we actually know quite a bit about them, but the trick is, what do you do? As you've already pointed out, we have things like penicillin to knock out contagious diseases. But when these things arise, and some of them arise fairly frequently, it's a little tougher to figure out what to do.
Now, is cancer a genetic disease?
Yes and no. But it's a genetic disease in individual cells, but not the whole body.
Okay.
So the function of genes goes awry in individual cells, which then over-reproduce. Essentially, the limits on their ability to divide and grow are turned off. But that doesn't occur in your whole body, so it's a limited or restricted kind of thing. There is one, I think you and I talked about this before, there is one contagious cancer, and it affects Tasmanian devils.
Yes, we did talk about that.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. But that's very unusual.
Do you ever feel there will be a vaccine to treat cancer? Not chemotherapy, but a vaccine that can treat cancer.
Yeah, the current most profitable or most promising way to get there is to devise chemicals that turn on your immune system specifically against the cells that are cancerous. Your immune system is in the business of identifying foreign and home cells, tell you from other things, right? Well, once cancer cells undergo this change, they no longer resemble your normal cells. And that's written all over their surfaces. So your immune system should theoretically be able to see that difference and kill those cells. The way it's worked so far is that our immune system doesn't seem to have the recognition it needs to identify all cancer cells and knock them out. But some of our immune cells can be trained to do that. In fact, all of your immune cells essentially learn to attack different kinds of things from experience. This is what happens in allergies, where your immune system learns incorrect information and tries to knock out cells that are doing something.
And that's why your eyes start watering and
Right.
your sinuses swell shut, because the immune system is saying, "Oh, wait, there's a foreign body in here. We need to kill it."
Exactly.
And you start suffering because it's trying to kill it.
Right. So what that means is your immune system can learn to attack new things. And a huge research area at the moment is trying to teach immune systems to attack cancer cells. In fact, that's regarded as one of the most promising future treatments.
So do you feel that one day there will be a vaccine that will treat cancer cells and chemotherapy will no longer be necessary?
Well, that's going pretty far.
But, look at how far we've come.
I know.
Look how far we've come.
I know, you're right. Well, yeah, I don't know exactly what that will look like in terms of delivery. Do you get a shot or exactly how it's going to work? But yes, I think our dependence on chemotherapy will decrease, and these new treatments that basically use your own immune system are going to be the wave of the future.
But the key to this is continuous research. People have to realize that it takes money for research, just basic research.
Right.
And you never know what's going to come out of it. You may go down several dead ends, but then all at once you hit the gold star.
Well, and it's really hard to keep in mind that so much of what has turned out to be useful to us started off as an accident, like the penicillin story, or was studied just because someone wanted to know how things work. We've got a recent example of this in the Bond Life Sciences Center. Dr. Chris Lorson has been working on genes that allow your nerve cells to attach to your muscles. Each muscle gets instructions about what to do from your nervous system. And there's a set of these in your back, and everyone's back, that connects your central nervous system to your back muscles so you can stand up straight and sit and so forth. There is a genetic defect, a genetic disease called Spinal Muscular Atrophy, or SMA, in which a gene for making that connection is broken. Dr. Lorson's been working on that for many years. He's been trying to figure out how it works, what's wrong. He recently, or about a year or two ago, passed that information on to other scientists who have turned it into a life-saving drug.
So all of this going on, this is an example of what's going on at the Bond Life Science Center.
Right.
Jack Schultz, always a pleasure having you here. You're a real eye-opener to me, no matter what topic we pick.
Right.
I find you amazing. Well, you'll come back again.
Sure.
All right. Jack Schultz. And if people want more information about the Bond Life Science Center, you can go to the website.
At Bond LSC.
Okay. Bond LSC.
LSC.
Thank you so much, Jack
pleasure.
Schultz. Drop me an email, pepperp@missouri.edu. Bye-bye.